Hey guys, before we start the module for this week, this is your first day. This is Monday, 11:29, and I'm not here. You have a substitute. So I expect you to be watching this video and doing all your work. So this video, we're going to do some review about integers. Then we're going to cover the Bellwork, and then we're going to cover the workbook pages. So the first thing you can see is you go to your course, you go to modules, and week number 5 comes up. You can see that we've got the vocabulary notebook assignment for Unit 5 and the digital notebook, which will cover lessons 1 through 16 in Unit 5. And today we're going to be on workbook pages 349 to 354. So please make sure you have out your workbook because right now you should be on this one. So before we go to the Bellwork, we're going to do some review. Let's review integers. I'm going to bring up something here. Okay, integers are positive and negative numbers. Now, usually they're whole numbers. We will also see positive and negative decimals, fractions, and percents this year. But first, let's talk about integers. The number line starts at 0. It's called the origin. We're used to that. Well, the number line here in 0, 0 does not have a sign. 0 is neutral. It's in the middle. You've got your positive numbers on the right, your negative numbers on the left. And look what it says down here. Numbers to the right of 0 are positive. The numbers get larger or more the further away from 0. So the further you go away from 0, the larger they get. Over here, numbers to the left of 0 are negative. The numbers get smaller or less the further away from 0. So let's take a look. We're used to the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4 when we count. But look at the negative numbers. -1, -2, -3, -4. Notice how they go backwards. And I want you to think of them backwards because the further away from 0 you are, the smaller the number because you owe that or it's taken from you. That's why it has a negative sign in front of it. It means less or taking away. Okay, so -1 is bigger than -2 because it's closer to 0. So when you're comparing numbers, you have to look like that. When you move to the right on the number line, the numbers get bigger. They're also positive when you move to the right. When you move to the left on the number line, and it doesn't matter where you start down here. When you move to the left on the number line, the numbers get smaller. You already knew that. 4 is smaller than 5. 3 is smaller than 5. 2 is smaller than 4. 1 is smaller than 4. 0 is smaller than 1. -3 is smaller than -2 because it's to the left. To the left. The more to the left we go, the smaller the numbers get. The more to the right we go, the bigger the numbers get. When we move to the right, it's a positive number. When we move to the left on a number line, it's a negative number. That's important because you're going to have to compare integers. We also have opposites on here. What does an opposite mean? The opposite means on the other side of the number line. So -3 is opposite of +3. They're the same distance from 0, but they're on the opposite side of 0 on the number line. Last year, you learned, or hopefully you did, this. Saw numbers like this. The absolute value of 3. Well, we got to get those signs off, just like parentheses. And all that means is how far is 3? How many units is 3 away from 0 on the number line? It's 3. So the answer is 3. Same thing if we have -3 inside here. How many units is -3 away from 0? It's 3. We're not talking about negative or positive movements. We just want to know how far it is. Distance is never negative. Even if I walk backwards, I still count on my Fitbit. So distance is never negative. but moving right or left and counting is. If you go to the right and count, it's positive. If you go to the left and count, it's negative. So anytime you see these absolute value signs, the answers are always going to be positive unless there's a negative outside. And we'll talk about that when I get back. But for now, anytime you see an absolute value sign, the answer is always going to be a positive. All right? So let's take a look at another number line before we start what we're doing today. We are going to look, there's two kinds of number lines. The horizontal number line. Horizontal just means the X line. It's straight across. Well, it's taken forever to come up. Not sure why. Give it a second here. There we go. So it's horizontal because it goes across. And here you can see we have 0. And it goes all the way to 30 on this side, positive, and over to negative 23 on this side. And you'll see this number line on Canvas. You'll also have a couple printed, hopefully some printed number lines. If not, you will be able to use the number line here. Okay? All right. And one more number line I want you to see. Hopefully it won't take forever to come up. That's going to be a vertical number line. That would be like your Y line. Straight up and down. Straight up and down. So this is using a number line that's straight up and down, like thermometers or elevations when we're measuring how far up or down something moves. We always start at 0. See, it says the entrance is 0. When we move up, it's positive. When we move down, it's negative. And it's the same thing. The negatives are backwards. -1, -2, -3, they go down to -8. When we see the positive numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, they count up, where these count down. The further away from 0 the number is, the smaller it is. More up, the higher the number is away from 0, the larger it is. So it says start at 0 and move to the first number. And this is when we add and subtract. We're not going to be subtracting this week. We will be adding. I'll be back for then. Anytime you're using the vertical number line, positive numbers go up, negative numbers go down. And here is another example that's a little bit longer. You can see where 0 is, and it goes up. The numbers get larger and higher up to 20. And then we're at 0, and we have our negative numbers, which are blue. And they get lower the further away from 0 we get. They get smaller. So that's just a quick review of integers. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to make sure we're on that horizontal line because we may need it. And we are going to go and open the Bellwork. So if you have to stop the video after I read the Bellwork and go do it, I want you to pause it, because remember, the important thing here is for you to get your work done and understand. So go down under Monday. You should already be under Monday right here, the teaching video, now to the Bellwork. And I may number those 1 through whatever to make it easier. And here's what the Bellwork looks like. So I'm going to make it a little bit bigger so that you know how I do, so you guys can see it. Here we go. So it says, look over the questions and use your brain to answer and submit. And then we're going to review these questions as we get ready to start the integers in Unit 5. So make sure you enter your first and last name. Select your math class hour. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read each question and give you some time to think about the answer. I know you can't tell me what you got, but this gives you a chance. All right? So, sea level. I didn't mention that when we were on the number line. Sea level is always 0. Okay? Sea level, or the top of the ocean, is 0 elevation. And the reason is, think of the earth. The ocean covers most of it. So anything below the ocean is negative. Anything above the ocean is positive. So we use sea level as 0. All right. So it says sea level, or the top of the ocean, is 0 elevation. So 5 feet above sea level would be written as 5 feet or -5 feet. or none of the above? Remember the horizontal number line I showed you? Oops. Get my pen to work here. There we go. There's 0, which is also sea level. Your positives go up. Your negatives go down. -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. So it says above sea level. Here's sea level. So pick that answer. Not sure I'm going to give it to you because I think you should be able to get it. It's above sea level. 5 feet above sea level. All right, let's go to the next question. If Jamal was scuba diving and went 20 feet down from the top of the ocean, what was his elevation or measurement be written as? 20 feet, -20 feet, or none of the above? Remember when we had the horizontal, this is horizontal, but the vertical number line. I'm going to pull that up real quick so you can look at it. Here's sea level at 0. Right here. Sea level at 0. And he says he's 20 feet below sea level. 20 feet below sea level. All right. So the word below means down. So you got to think, what would that be, a positive or a negative 20? And I think you can do that. I do. So answer that question. All right. What is the opposite of 4? So remember, I showed you that number line. Opposite means it's on the opposite side of 0. The opposite side of 0. What was on the opposite side of positive 4? The opposite side of positive 4 means it's on the opposite side of 0, the same distance away. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? All right. Should be able to get the answer to that without me giving it to you. I'm just getting the number line we might need later on. Not sure which one. We're probably going to need to flip back and forth, but it's not like you don't have time. So let's go on down. If you were below the surface of the ocean and swimming at -5 feet, and you came up 4 feet towards the surface, where would you be? Would you be at sea level or the surface of the ocean? Would you be 1 foot above the surface of the ocean, or +1, 1 foot below the surface, or -1, or none of the above? Again, it said, here's 0, or sea level. Don't have very much room there, do I? -2, -3, -4, -5. So you're swimming right here. There you are, swimming away. And it said you came up 4 feet. 1, 2, 3, 4. There you are. Okay? So where did you end up? Sea level or the surface of the ocean? 1 foot above the surface of the ocean, or +1. 1 foot below the surface, or -1. All right, make sure you've answered those questions and submit. And get out your workbook. Pause this for a minute and get out that workbook, page 349. Page 349. All right, we're on page 349, which says interpreting negative numbers. So we're going to be working through this, reviewing what we know about signed numbers. And the first thing we're looking on this first page on the warm-up is using the thermometer. And it says, here's a weather thermometer. 3 of the numbers have been left off. What signed numbers go in the box? What temperature does the thermometer show? And you should have a red on yours. Mine does not, sadly, but it is going to be red. So I'm going to kind of make it red here so you can see it a little bit easier. Not sure why they couldn't have made mine red, but they didn't. So we need to know what these lines are. So we go to 0, and we notice they count up 5, then something, then 15, then 20, then something, then 30. And then they go down to a line, then -10. Looks to me like they're counting by 5s. Okay, so it wants to know what numbers go in the box. You can do these easily. What numbers go in this box right here? You're at 5, then 10 degrees Celsius, 15, 20, 25 degrees Celsius. All right, now we're going to go down. Down. So we've got 0, then -5. Remember, we're counting by 5s, but now we're going down. So make sure you write your numbers here. We had -5, 10, and 25 in the boxes. Now it wants to know, what temperature does the thermometer show? Well, it's above -5 on the way to 0, but it's not quite there, is it? So we have to decide about where we think it is. It's pretty close to 0. I'm going to erase my, hang on just for a second. I'm going to erase my little red things so you can see where we're at. Make it easier for you to see. So that's -5 right there. We have to decide where. That's -5, that's 0. Boy, it sure looks like it's at about, what would you think? Maybe -2? That's what it looks like to me. Okay? -2 degrees Celsius. About. And remember, the closer to 0, the numbers get larger. When we go up on the thermometer, it gets warmer. When we go down on the thermometer, it gets colder, which is going to be important when we get to the next page. Okay? Let me put it on this instead. I like my drawing better than this one. All right. So off we go. We're scrolling on down. Scrolling on down. All right. This is going to be on page 350. Page 350. And yours looks a little different than mine. I wish mine looked exactly the same as yours, but alas, it does not. So we have got 4 thermometers. So we've got thermometer 1, thermometer 2, thermometer 3, and thermometer 4. And it is asking us what temperature is shown on each thermometer. Well, before we measure them, we need to see what the measurements mean. So go find 0. Here's 0. And let's count the lines in between till we get to our first number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, they're counting by 1s. That makes it easier, doesn't it? So it's easy to find this one. Here's 0. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this thermometer is 4 degrees. So I'm going to put 4 degrees there, or 4. Okay, now we need to do this one. Go to find 0. Here's our 0. -1, -2, -3. And that is going to be -3. All right, degrees. All right, now we're at this one. It's not on a line, is it? So we go up from 0. We always start at 0. There's 5. It's in between 5 and 6. What number is in between 5 and 6? 5.5, you say, or 5.5? So our next number is 5.5. All right. Our last thermometer. Start at 0. Here we are. There's -1. There's -2. It's in between -1 and -2. Lots of people miss this. In between -1 and -2. Halfway between them. So negative 1.5 or 1.5 degrees. It has not made it to 2. Remember, we're going backwards on the number line when we get to the negatives. Do not get confused. So there are our numbers. All right. So the next question says, which thermometer shows the highest temperature? Remember, the highest temperature is going to be the one that's the most above 0. So what number is the most above 0? 4, -3, 5.5, or 1.5? Which thermometer has the highest number? The third one, right? It is the one that is the highest up. So that would be the third thermometer. We can also look at the numbers. The next one says, which thermometer shows the lowest temperature? So that's going to be the one the furthest down from 0. Do you see which one is colored the furthest down from 0? There we go. That's going to be the second thermometer. And you have a little more room to write than I do. All right. Let's move on to question 4. Suppose the temperature outside is -4 degrees Celsius. Is that colder or warmer than the coldest temperature shown? What's the coldest temperature shown? Now, the first thing people want to do is tell me it's -1.5, but that's not true. You just said the coldest temperature was -3. Remember, the number that's further away from 0 on the negative side is less or colder. The higher up you go is the warmer it is. The more down you go, the colder it is, or more negative. So we've got -3. Remember our horizontal number line, or our vertical, doesn't really matter. Here's 0, -1, -2, -3, -4. The further to the left you go, the smaller they get, the colder they get. So, suppose the temperature outside is -4 degrees. Is that colder or warmer than the coldest temperature shown? -4 degrees is colder than -3 degrees. Okay? It's also less than -3 degrees. Okay? So I know that -4 is less than -3. So that's a good one for you to look at. -3 is warmer. Okay? -3 is warmer because it's closer to 0. All right. Let's move on to the next activity. Next activity. Next activity is going to be on page 351. 351. All right, here we go. It says, and this is page 351, seagulls soar and sharks swim. Here is a picture of some sea animals. And you guys have yours in color. And a couple of yours might be a tad bit different than mine, but that's okay. The number line on the left shows the vertical position of each animal above or below sea level in meters. So let's take a look at what they're showing us here. Here we go. Here's what we've got. We've got an octopus down at -10. We've got a -5 here. I see a fish below that. We've got a shark. We've got a penguin. We've got a dolphin. And we've got a seagull. Okay? So we are going to answer the questions that they've given us with this picture. Now I'm looking at the questions over on the side. So, I will help answer these and scroll back and forth, but, I don't want to scroll too much. So remember, 0 is sea level. Why is that important? Everything above sea level is positive. Everything below sea level is negative. Now we kind of got to put some lines there to make this easier, okay, to me, because it says how far above or below sea level is each animal measured to their eye level. All right, so we kind of got to get, these lines about right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then there's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, -10. All right, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. So mark those in your workbook because this is going to help you. I'll give you a second to do that. So it wants to know how far above or below sea level each one of these animals is. Okay? And you're going to write that under number 1, or, you could put it next to these. So let's start at the top. Here's our seagull. There's 0, which is sea level, and it's 10 above, right? 10 meters above. 10 meters above for the seagull. And if you need to, you can write that under number 1. $10 meters above sea level. All right, let's go to the next one. Dolphin. The dolphin start at 0. 1, 2, 3. Remember they said eye level, so his eye's at about 3. Okay, so the dolphin. And it's above. We're still above the ocean, which is a positive number. All right, so the dolphin. May change the other pen. I don't like how that makes that on the screen. Sea level. All right, the penguin. Penguin. That penguin, well, he's right at sea level. His eye isn't it? So the dolphin. I'm sorry, dolphin. Penguin. Penguin is 0 meters, right? 0 meters above sea level. He's right at sea level. He's swimming right there on the surface of the ocean. Now we've got the shark. The shark. All right? So we start at 0. 1, -1, -2, -3. See that? There he is. Okay? So he is 3 meters below the sea level. 3 meters below sea level. And what's another way we can write below sea level? -3 meters. Okay? -3 meters. So the seagull was at positive 10 meters. The dolphin was a positive 3 meters because they were above. 0 doesn't have. 0 never has a sign. It is a positive or negative. The shark is 3 meters. I really hate when it does that. 3 meters below sea level, which is a -3 meters. All right? Now we've got that little fish, which yours is a little different than mine. So we're just going to call him fish. We're going to start at 0. 1, -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6, -7. So I'm thinking he's about at -7. You know, my line might be a little bit off, but I'm thinking he is. So he is 7 meters below sea level. All right, so let's go write that. The fish, because we're not going to argue about what kind he is since mine's different than yours, is 7 meters below sea level. And what's another way we can write below sea level? -7 meters. Last but not least, the octopus. So we've got the octopus, and we can see he is right there at eye level at 10 meters below sea level. All right, so we're going to do that. The octopus is 10 meters below sea level. And sea level is always 0. So another way to write below sea level, 10 meters below, is -10 meters. All right, so we're still going to be using this to answer some questions. So I am going to just erase this right here because we are going to need the little map. If you wrote on it, it's okay. But I've got to be able to show you some stuff, so all right. So let's go to the next question. The next question says, a mobile ray is 3 meters above the surface of the ocean. How does its vertical position compare to the height or depth of the dolphin, the flying seagull, and the octopus? So we are comparing all of these to the dolphin, the flying seagull, and the octopus. It said 3 meters above. So let's go to 3 meters above. 1, 2, 3. So this is a mobile ray. Sorry. And there's probably another way to say that, but we're going to get it anyway. All right, there he is. And we can see that he is at 3 meters. All right, so how does that compare with the dolphin? How is he above or below the dolphin? He's in the same place. So that means he is 0 meters above the dolphin, correct? All right, now it's asking how many meters above or below the flying seagull this ray is. Well, he is below the seagull by how much? We'll start where the seagull is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So he is 7 meters below the seagull. Okay, the octopus. All right. Well, he is definitely above the octopus, isn't he? He is definitely above the octopus. Okay. How much above the octopus? Let's find out. We'll start at the octopus and go up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. He's 13 meters above the octopus. All right, so now we got something else to do. It says an albatross is 5 meters above the surface of the ocean. How does its vertical position compare to the height or depth of the jumping dolphin, the flying seagull, and the octopus? So we're still comparing. So let's go back to the picture. So we need an albatross at 5. All right. So the first thing we're comparing it to, it wants to know, how does it compare to the height or depth of the flying dolphin? So here's the dolphin. We have to go up to get to the albatross. 1, 2. So it's 2 meters above the dolphin. All right, the flying seagull. Well, it's below the seagull, isn't it? So start at the seagull and count till we get to the albatross. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 meters below the seagull. All right, the octopus. The albatross is definitely above the octopus because the octopus is at the bottom. So let's start at the octopus and count till we get to the albatross. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. The albatross is 15 above the octopus because we counted up. We count up, it's above. We count down, it's below. So it was 15 meters above the octopus. All right. A clownfish is 2 meters below the surface of the ocean. How does its vertical position compare to the height or depth of the flying dolphin, the flying seagull, and the octopus? So let's go put that clownfish in. It says 2 meters below the surface of the ocean. So we go to the surface of the ocean, down 1, 2. And we're going to put the clownfish. All right, now we're comparing it to the same thing. The dolphin first. Well, we have to go up to get to the dolphin, right? So what does that mean? We're going to start at the dolphin. The clownfish is below the dolphin. So start at the dolphin, and we went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, down. Okay, so the clownfish is 5 meters below the dolphin. All right, the flying seagull. The flying seagull. Well, the clownfish is also below that seagull, isn't it? Let's see by how much. We're going to start at the seagull. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So the clownfish is 12 meters below that seagull. And the last one is the octopus. And again, the octopus is at the bottom. So the clownfish is above it. So let's start at the octopus. Notice we started at what they gave us, which one they were comparing it to. We started there first, and we went up or down. And that's how we could tell. We always ended at the clownfish. Okay? All right. Or whichever one we were comparing. All right. So we go up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the clownfish is 8 meters above the octopus. All right. Question 5. The vertical distance of a new dolphin from the dolphin in the picture is 3 meters. What is its distance from the surface of the ocean? So it says the vertical distance of a dolphin from the dolphin in the picture is 3 meters. What is its distance from the surface of the ocean? Well, that's kind of a tricky one because notice in there it doesn't say if it's above or below the dolphin, does it? So 3 meters. It could be 3 meters above, which would be the dolphin's at 3, right? 3 meters above would be 1, 2, 3 more. And that would be at 6 from sea level, right? Or it could be 3 below. 1, 2, 3. That'd be a 0. It'd be at sea level. So since it doesn't say above or below, doesn't give us enough information, it could be 0 meters or 6 meters, depending on if it was 3 meters above or 3 meters below the dolphin. They left a word out, so they didn't give us enough information. So we ended up with 2 answers. All right? Now we're obviously going to skip Are You Ready for More? So what we're going to do from there is scroll on some more. Now, when you go to page 352, it says there's a card sort on rational numbers. We are going to wait and do those when we come back, although there is a possibility that Miss Golden and Miss Ray and Miss Robinson may have an activity, a number line activity that they will bring to you on Monday. And if that is the case, then you'll work that and use their directions. If not, you're going to see some of this ordering in the cool down video. And you're also going to see it on the Ed puzzle that you watch tomorrow. And we most definitely will be working on it on Friday. All right, so let's look at the summary. We can use positive and negative numbers to represent temperature and elevation, both of which go up and down. Temperatures rise, they get warmer. They fall, they get colder. Elevation, sea level is 0. When we go up, you get higher. When we go down, you get lower. So when numbers represent temperature, positive numbers indicate temperatures that are warmer than 0, and negative numbers represent temperatures that are colder than 0. This thermometer shows a temperature of -1 degrees Celsius, which we write as -1 degrees Celsius. Okay, and this is on your summary page, on page 353, and you can see because you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. Remember, the numbers, negative numbers, count backwards on the number line, backwards. When numbers represent elevations, positive numbers indicate positions above sea level, and negative numbers indicate positions below sea level. So if you have a negative number, you're under the ocean. So we can see the order of signed numbers on a number line. And again, I want you to notice, you start at 0 every time. Zeros, positives are on the right, negatives are on the left. When you move to the right on a number line, the numbers get bigger. When you move to the left on a number line, they get smaller. It says a number is always less than its digits to the right. That's true. So -7 is less than -3. Here's -7, here's -3. It's more to the left. More to the left is less. More to the left is less. Good thing to write down. More to the left means less. More to the left means less. Okay? It helps. All right? We use absolute value to describe how far a number is from 0. And I talked about that a little bit at the beginning. Absolute value signs have to be removed. The numbers 15 and -15 are both 15 units from 0. So the absolute value of 15 is 15. And the absolute value of -15 is also 15 because you're counting to get to 0. Distance is always positive. -15 and +15 are opposites. Same number, opposite signs. They're on opposite sides of 0. Opposite sides of 0 on the number line. They are on opposite sides of 0 on the number line, but the same distance from 0. All right? All right. So let's talk about what you're going to do next. The next thing you're going to do is you are going to go to, if you're on this page, you're going to click Next. If you're not, you go to the module page. The cool down. I made you a video. So you have a video to watch for the cool down. This is a little bit of a tricky one, guys. It really is. So you need to get out a piece of paper. You need to watch the video first and do it with me on paper. If you don't have paper, you most certainly can use the top. You have, if you look right behind page 353, you have blank pages, 2 of them, in fact. So that's a great place to do the cool work. So do it on the back of page 353. All right, watch the video because you have to learn how to number, put them in order from least to greatest. And I go over that in the video. And then you need to go to the cool down and select the answers and submit them. Okay, so there is a video for the cool down each day. After you're done with that, you need to go and finish the rest of the work. You have an ed puzzle to do. Watch and submit. This is What Are Integers, a math antics, and it has some questions in there that you'll have to answer. Remember, these are graded, so you need to get it done. All right, when you're done with the ed puzzle, click Next. Integers in the real world, video and assignment. It says watch the video and then complete the questions about the video and submit. So you watch this video that's 9 minutes and 36 seconds long. Pay attention because the answers to the questions are in that video. And then you come and you answer these questions and submit. So these are your assignments for Monday, today, 11/29. If you should finish early, you can come and work on your vocabulary notebook, your digital notebook, and go ahead and put lesson 1 in. Or you can go to Prodigy Math. But that's it, people. All right? So, you're done with the video. You should have the Bellwork, the workbook pages, 349 to 354. You need to make sure you do the cool down. You watch the video. You do it on scratch paper on the back of page 353. Then you go to the ed puzzle, complete it, watch it, and complete it. Integers in the real world. If you run out of time, you'll have time tomorrow. Okay, so good luck. Make sure you're following the rules today. Don't get your name on the board. Remember, if you do everything you're supposed to and you don't get your name written down, you're going to get bonus points. I'll see you on Wednesday. Don't forget to do your work. Go to the cool down next and then do the accelerate assignments. And you guys have a great day.